time for illegal ham in the face. But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into Illegal Ham to the Face here on Network 216. I am that fat guy. He is Big Brad. We are brought to you by Hero Q and Laker APA, also City Dogs Cleveland. We got a little update on our City Dogs stuff. And, Brad, we got two good bits of good news tonight before Christmas hits. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. But, Brad, how are you doing, big fella?
Hey, couldn't be any better, my friend.
I mean, you went to the game on Sunday. How was it? How wet did you get?
It wasn't bad at all in the first half. Second half is when it started to rain, but it wasn't a downpour or anything like that. So it wasn't terrible. Had they won, I would have had a great time.
Yeah, but that was not a fun game to watch, Bri. I don't know. I'm glad that you toughed it out for the entire game because I'm not going to lie. I probably wouldn't have. I would have left like every other fan in there because it looked like it was full to start out with, and then about the second quarter started to thin out a little bit.
Yeah, not a whole lot to cheer for there in the first half with the turnovers, and I mean the Chiefs weren't even playing that good, and I don't want to say we gave up. We just handed them the game. I mean, from the start, I wasn't even there in my seat. And I hear, okay, 3 and out. All right, great, we got the ball. And I get up to the seat, and how the hell did the Chiefs have the ball? Oh, we muffed the punt. Oh, okay, yeah. Picked up right where we left off last week.
Well, on tonight's show, we're going to talk about that wonderful Browns loss. We're going to do our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. It is my turn for trivia tonight. We are going to talk Fat Boy Tuesday. It's that time, Bri. It's time to start talking Christmas cookies, which we love some Christmas cookies here. Also, for our top 3 tonight, Bri, this is going to be fun for you because you get to start a whole new family tradition because this is going to be your first Christmas with baby girl, and you're going to enjoy every minute of it. And I just wanted to see what kind of family traditions you and Ashley are going to have, and also speak of my family traditions that I've had growing up and what we do here in my house, and we'll do our top 3 family traditions. But first things first, we always start out with some shout-outs. Brad, do you have any shout-outs this week?
No shout-outs for me. I guess I'll shout out my buddy Mark, who I was just telling you, called me when we were at the game and said, hey, I got bunch of seats around me down here if you guys want to come. So we upgraded the seats, sitting about 5 yards from the field behind the Browns bench. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, shout him, and now I got to destroy him in fantasy this week. So thanks, Mark.
Yeah. It's we'll get into our fantasy here a little bit too. I don't have any shout outs really. Just trying to get everybody in this house healthy, Bri. You know how it goes. One kid's down, then the other one gets sick, and the other kid's down, and mom gets sick, and then mom gets sick. Both kids are back to being sick. It's a vicious cycle right now with the amount of germs that are going around either A, in school, or B, in this house. It has been nonstop. Thank God for amoxicillin. If you do not know what that is, Brian, that is that bubblegum stuff you used to drink as a kid.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that we have enough doses here to probably take care of a village. It has been crazy. I'm trying to get everybody healthy. Other than that, I don't have any other shout outs. Justin said, shout out to Cooper Kupp for laying an egg. Well, Justin,
yeah, I'm on that boat too.
Well, also somebody talked a lot of smack about his matchup with Big Bry, and Big Bry laid the whacketh down on him. And I'm still trying to figure out how you won this. And I actually scrolled down. I'm like, how did Big Bry win? And I scrolled all the way down, And then I saw the defensive points that you got in fantasy. Man, ain't that some bullshit? Oh my God, you got 30 points from like Jacksonville or something.
No, who do I have? Maybe Denver. I had Denver in one league.
Atlanta. You had
Atlanta.
Atlanta's
Last night, 20. Yeah, they got me 20 last night.
I got 20 points last night.
I'm going against Desmond Ritter. That's why I picked him up.
Oh my God.
Do your homework.
What's really bad is Justin had Josh Allen. And, oh my God. Corey Brown. Yeah, Cooper Kupp definitely laid one on him. You guys are even all the way through. Let's get in. Hold on. An illegal ham to the face fantasy football update. We might as well do it now. Right now, you have Hunky Cat going up against Team Big Rod, Mark, and Big Bry. You are going up against the Portage County Prostitutes.
Phillips.
I lost. I got destroyed by Mark, and not like a little bit destroyed. I lost 173 to 93. He had Lamar Jackson go off for 50. Cook 30. CD Lamb go off for 30. Hey, Mooney didn't even score anything. He had McCord.
I saw that.
30. He had the kicker for Jacksonville go off for 15. And the only thing I had that was even remotely close was, Justin Herbert got 17 points. That was it. That was my wonderful run I had in the illegal ham to the face fantasy football league. But we are getting a new champion. So, Bri, it is down to you, the Portage County Prostitutes, Mark and Lauren. And we'll see what happens next week. Now, Bri, what are we going to do about next week? Next week, Tuesday, Christmas Eve, are we going to do a Christmas Eve show?
No, we got family stuff and church stuff. So, next 2 weeks, really. If you wanted to switch it to Monday, we could. I'd be open to that. It's up to you.
We could do a little quick half-hour Monday show. Just to recap the game and everything, and probably do the same thing the following week.
Sure.
So 2 Monday shows back to back.
7 o'clock.
All right, 7 o'clock. You heard it right here on Illegal Ham to the Face, 23rd and the 30th. We will be 7 o'clock on Mondays due to the holidays.
Shoot. Nope, can't do 30th.
Well, never mind.
You said we'll figure something. Next week we'll be back with further details about the following week. But next Monday I'm good.
Justin said he could do a live story time. That would be awesome.
There you go.
Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. Live here on Illegal Ham to the Face.
Kids friendly.
It is kid friendly. We'll laugh at it the entire time, but it is kid friendly. All right, Bri. Well, let's get into our wonderful, wonderful thing of trivia so I can get our new news from City Dogs Cleveland out there for everybody. And here's the sounder. Our trivia is always brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. And Bri, we have a new puppy tonight from City Dogs Cleveland. Ashland got adopted over the weekend. Cannot thank them enough.
Awesome.
So first off, here is the first news from City Dogs Cleveland. Mac for Months went pretty good. Bri, did you stop by and get a little mac and cheese?
No, we were kind of helter-skelter on what we were going to do. It was raining, so the tailgate wasn't really going on. So we ended up going to the casino. Everybody lost money pretty quickly. And then we went to some random bar on West 6 called Rumor or something like that. It was the least populated bar and the quickest one where we could get a drink. So that's why we went in there.
Bri.
What's that?
We'll talk about that off air.
Rumor?
I've heard about that bar.
Really?
Yes.
I'd never heard of that. There was Barley House was jam-packed.
Oh, of course.
I think Velvet Dog was jam-packed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, there's nobody in this bar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it a gay bar? Like my experience in Chicago?
It might be, buddy.
No, there are women in there.
It doesn't say that women can't be gay, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
I did accidentally walk into the women's bathroom, so that was embarrassing.
Brian, is there something you need to tell us here? Do we have breaking news on Illegal Ham to the Face here, Brian? Was
The
there
funny
actually
thing-
women in
I
there
didn't-
when you
no,
walked in?
Yeah, there were. I didn't get too far though, because there were like these two girls doing some dance and doing like a TikTok dance in the mirror. And I
Oh
go,
my!
I'm in the wrong bathroom. All right, see you
And
later.
whoop, I'm going to back out of that one.
And then I told my cousin-in-law the same about like, hey, make sure you go into the men's bathroom. It's kind of tricky down there. He did the same thing.
You don't need to bring Johnny Manziel back. It's a gay bar called the Blue Oyster, like in Police Academy. Here we go. This is our group tonight. Here we go.
What was Eric maybe calling the one in Columbia the plug nickel?
I think, yeah. I think. Oh my God! Now we're getting
What
off
a
on
name!
tangent.
What a name!
All
No, the
right.
one I went to in Chicago was called like Social 23. Like it didn't have a gay bar name at all.
Why do they have to have
Until
a
I
gay
saw it was the same. It was the same deal. You've heard the story where it was St. Patrick's Day and every bar was just slam packed with like an hour wait to get in, and we're like, okay, this one's wide open. Let's go in there and get a drink. Until I started looking for basketball on the TV, and I found other stuff on the TV, and I go, oh, that's why everyone's so nice around here.
And we have another comment, fellas. Whatever happened to Josh Gordon? And he's probably smoking some weed and doing some blow in a bathroom somewhere. I do not know right now.
Hey, well, last I heard, him and Johnny Manziel were on a was it Arena League team together?
Hey, sure.
Yeah, I believe
Or
so.
was it
A couple
Canadian
years
football?
ago, maybe 2 years ago. It might have been Canadian football as well, but I'm pretty sure they were on Arena League. Well, it might not have even been Arena League. It might have been like the step below Arena League. It was, kind of sad to watch, really.
All right, well, let's get back into our trivia. We're getting off on a tangent, bro.
Thank you. Yep, sorry about that.
Our trivia is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. We did get our longest resident adopted. We have a new longest resident now here, and this beautiful puppy is named Gazelle. Right there for the holidays, Brian. There is Gazelle.
Sweet.
Let's see here. Gazelle has found herself the new longest resident at the kennel. She is silly, spunky, and charming. She loves play groups and plays well with other dogs, and she's on the gentle style. She is a freckled cutie, estimated to be around 2 years old and weigh 55 pounds. You can go pick her up at City Dogs Cleveland. Look at that face. She reminds me a little bit of Lil, Bri.
Same color pattern for sure.
I know,
Same
right?
smile. That tongue. My goodness.
All right. So there is Gazelle and also all these other wonderful adoptable dogs here at City Dogs Cleveland. It is the holidays. If you're going to get a dog, please get an adoptable dog from City Dogs Cleveland. Now, Bri, Beth did message me this weekend. They're famous. $21 adoptions. $21 adoptions for City Dogs.
Can't beat it.
You cannot beat that anywhere. Please go help out a dog. Now, Bri, told you earlier before we started the show, I got a good trivia for you tonight. And it is Browns trivia.
Like it.
Okay. Now, this is kind of where we're going to talk about here a little bit later with the Browns. But Kevin Stefanski took over the Cleveland Browns. He was hired in 2020, Bri. Took over since he has been here, Bri. And the, 4 going on 5 years?
I think his first year was 2019.
2019?
Yeah.
Okay. So out of the 5 years he has been here, Brian, he has 10 starting quarterbacks.
Okay.
Can you name all 10 starting quarterbacks, Brian?
Oh, boy. All right. Okay. I can try.
All right. It's a fun little gym. 5 years, and he's had 10
I like
starting
it.
quarterbacks. So 2 starting quarterbacks average every year.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. This is fun. I'll write them all down here.
All right. We got Mom in here. Mom, hi. Can't wait to see you this weekend. We're going to be doing some sugar cookies, Brian. We're decorating cookies this weekend.
Same. Saturday.
That we're doing it on Friday.
Cool.
And dare I say, we're getting ham and some cheesy potatoes, Brian. A little cheesy potato action.
Little precursor, huh? Now, is this at your house on Friday?
No, we are traveling to Seabus. We're going down to Columbus. And
Oh,
what I'm
nice.
hoping to do is that Chris and I can leave all of our kids together with Grammy, and then Chris and I can go watch the game together down at Ohio State.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, that works,
What are
right?
tickets? 400?
Probably more than 400, depending on where you want to sit.
I think they're cheaper. I think they're cheaper than 400.
No, we're about to find out.
Well, I know Indiana and Notre Dame, which I think is Friday night. I think they're going for like the cheapest you can find is 500, which is absurd for the cheapest seat. But I think Ohio State is affordable. Yeah, still probably at least 150, 200. But compared to the other ones.
We'll look here in a little bit and
there you
find
go.
out.
It's worth a good time, right? Just tell the wife that's your Christmas present.
I tried to do that. I tried to do that this weekend, Brian. You know those wonderful seats down in the front of the end zones where you have like the black chairs, like the very front seats?
Mm-hmm.
There was a pair of those tickets for sale for $300.
It's a pretty good deal, honestly.
That's
300.
what I thought. I looked at her.
That's
and she looked
a really
at me.
good deal.
Hold on. This is where the trump card came in. I looked at her. I'm like, honey, we could go to this game and sit down on the field. She goes, did you not just get a PlayStation 5 in college football? I'm like, I did. Thank you for the Christmas present. So, Bri, I have upgraded. I have college football now, and I love every minute of it.
Same. We're going to have to get the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry back.
Oh, I can't wait. I
don't know. I haven't played it a ton. I played it for like 2 weeks when it first came out, but haven't really played it since then. So I don't know for sure if they have like the all-time roster teams or not. Do you know?
Oh, we can download those, I believe.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Oh, yeah. We can download those. Or we can make our own. We can edit our own team and make them be fine. We'll figure it out.
Okay. I'm sure somebody's done it. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. You can download share, right?
Because
21st century.
I think the last time we played college football, you quit at halftime.
Why did I quit?
Because I believe the score was 35-0, and you could not stop one play.
I was seeing double, maybe triple.
Oh, now you're excusing. Now I was there too.
Wasn't that was the Dover Gardens night?
I don't even know if that was a night, buddy. That was a all-day excursion.
Yeah. That's dangerous when you get the Christmas bonus and you go for happy hour and you end up shutting it down. It's a dangerous night.
And half the Christmas bonus is gone, and next thing you know, you're waking up with a bag full of cheese popcorn laying next to you going, when the hell did I get this?
Good times.
Definitely good time. All right, let's get in our Cleveland headlines. Let's have some fun with this show, Brian. God, we're getting into stories that people don't know about that we might have. We might have to do a story time with us here a little bit later, a little behind the scenes story time.
Still working on my.
But I'm sorry I cut you off because I didn't think you were going to say anything else. Still working on your what?
My list. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need 3 more.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a fun one. Well, Brian, let's dive in to the wonderful Browns game this weekend. The Browns committed 6 turnovers. Nick Chubb is out for the rest of the year with a broken foot. Myles Garrett got his pretty much eyeball poked out of his head. Brian, I predicted this wasn't going to be pretty, and if anything could happen, it happened this game. You had a muff punt. You had fumbles everywhere. You had Jameis finally getting benched in the third quarter, and DTR kind of came in for the last little bit. You had Judy was probably the only one that didn't really do anything horrible, at least from what I remember of the game. Brian, this was it was bad all around. And Jerome Ford and his 1 touchdown run. Gotta give him kudos for that. But Bri, this team, we're 3 and what is it now? 3-13, something like that. 3-11.
3-11 sounds right. Well, we got
Okay,
3 games left, so yeah, 3-11.
yeah. So 3-11. We have the Bengals, whose offense is unstoppable, but their defense is horrible. We had the Dolphins game where we just got flexed out of Sunday night, and now we're playing on was it Sunday night football that we were, or Monday night football that we were on with the Dolphins?
Sunday. We were Sunday
night.
Yeah.
We got flexed to a 4:00 game. And then this past game with the Bengals, I believe we started out as a 4:00 game. Then we moved from Fox to CBS, and we just been flexed around like 16 times. So this is where we're at with our football team. We're getting flexed everywhere, Bri. I don't know what everybody else is playing for, but we're not playing for shit. They announced today that DTR will be your starting quarterback this weekend against the Cincinnati Bengals. Why the hell not? Right now, we're just kind of grasping at straws as a team. And I mean, Bri, you were there at the game. What was some of your takeaways from the game this week?
It was just, it wasn't, I mean, the offense was terrible. The offense was, other than one play, you got nothing going. The defense held their own, I guess. But, you always wonder how much Kansas City is really threatened. Had we made it a game, would our defense have been able to bow their neck out and stop them? But defensively, they were fine. They even made some good plays. Still not getting any turnovers, though, in a game like that, to where, we had, 6 turnovers? Jameis had his usual 3 picks. DTR had a pick to end the game. We had the muff punt and then a Nick Chubb fumble, which was unheard of. I don't know how long it's been since he's fumbled it. But yeah, you get that at the beginning of the second or the third quarter, coming out of halftime, and it's like at that point you're like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to end well. I tried to keep the hope, but yeah, it's just they were a better team. They showed that they were a better team. They didn't look great. We didn't look like the worst team ever, even though we only put up 7 points. But I don't know. It's just, it's hard to be too upset about it because we all kind of knew that we probably weren't going to win this game. Surprisingly, the spread was only like 4 or 5. Just because they know what we've done to the Ravens and the Steelers. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to take anything too positive from this game other than maybe the defense kind of holding their own against the reigning Super Bowl champs. Yeah, it's going to be difficult going forward getting excited about this team. Like, yeah, before we could get excited about Jameis, maybe we're going to get a good Jameis game. Maybe he's going to throw for 400 yards and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Maybe Nick Chubb kind of regains his confidence, regains his footing, turns into the Nick Chubb of old, gets 120 yards on the ground and a touchdown or something. We see those vintage Nick Chubb runs that we've seen so many times in the past. Now it's like we don't have those to look forward to anymore. So it's like it's hard. It's going to be hard for me personally, it's going to be hard to convince my wife to watch these games or to allow me to watch these games because there's just not a whole lot going on. It's not a whole lot to cheer about. But yeah, we've been here before as Browns fans. Middle of December, don't have anything to play for. I guess if you really want to, you can root hard for them to lose to try to get a higher draft pick. But me personally, I don't see anybody that I have to have in this draft. Now there's going to be somebody who's really good coming out of this draft, but right now it's not like there's nobody I'm coveting. If we get I'll almost be disappointed if we get the first overall pick. I'll almost be pissed off because really in this draft where there's not a clear cut number 1 guy, that's when we get it. And now we're going to have, 5 different options, and one of them is going to be great, but we got to somehow pick which one's going to be great, and we're probably, based on past history, going to choose the wrong one. So I almost, for that sake, I almost hope we end up picking 5th, 6th, 7th in the draft or something like that. But anyways, we'll go back to the Kansas City game. It's just Kansas City doing what Kansas City does, the Browns doing what the Browns do. And it was a 14-point game, and there's just not a whole lot to take away from it, really.
No, and Brian, I mean, what are you supposed to do with 6 turnovers? Just
right.
Like,
I mean,
that deflates
it's crazy.
everybody. That deflates the defense. That deflates the special teams. By the way, we had a new kicker this weekend. Did you know that? I saw that come out. All right, so that's awesome.
I noticed that in the middle of the third quarter. I go, who the heck is this Patterson guy? He's wearing number 10. He was standing right in front of us. And this Patterson guy wearing number 10. Like, he's a white guy, so he's probably not a receiver. He's very scrawny. So I'm like, is that a quarterback? Is there a quarterback that we got? So I started asking my friends, and no. It is that kicker. What we had him last year, right? For a couple games.
I have no clue.
Riley Patterson, I think. Yeah. We got him from the Lions. So we had him a couple games last year, and I was just, oh, okay. I didn't even realize that we didn't have Hopkins in there. All right, I guess we're rolling with this guy.
This team, my God, this team, Brian. I called my mom after this game, and my mom is a huge Browns fan. Like, my mom's she was all decked out head to toe. We were talking the entire time. We even do a game recap on Monday about the game and what we saw and everything else. She called me. She goes, "The hell was that?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you." I was like, "I wish I knew what to tell you. I don't." I was like, "I can't explain what's going on right now with Cleveland Browns. Like, this is just like the 1 year." Like, everybody has those years where, like, nothing goes right. And we did that with nothing goes right. And then it ended up in a train wreck. So nothing went right. And then we just stood there in front of the train going, just take me out. Like, I don't know what else to do with this team. Now, Brian, we're going to have a fun game here coming up a little bit later. All right. But there are reports that have come out saying that Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are going to be safe from the purge of this season. Bri, is anybody taking one on the chin this season, or is this just going to be like a wash of the hands? This is just a bad year, and we'll see what happens next year.
I think the guy with the biggest target on his back is Ken Dorsey. So me personally, I would be very upset if they brought back Ken Dorsey. Not that I think we've been terrible or like he's really holding us back, but you have to run the ball. You have to be able to run the ball in this division, and he has no interest in doing that. He's never had an interest in doing that. He just does it basically because, well, you have to. You can't throw it every single time. So until he understands that, yeah, I hope I wish him all the best, but I hope he stays far, far away from this offense.
Well, and the other thing that was brought up, national media and everybody talking, look at all the revamped running back rooms in the NFL. You got Green Bay, you got Philly revamped their running back room. You had probably 6 other teams, I believe, revamped. Ravens, Chargers. They're still kind of in the hunt. Let's see here. Where else was I going with that? There's another one that I can't think of that was on there that redid their running back room. But you have all these teams. Brian, we're starting to revert back to where running backs are needed, and they're needed a lot because you have games like this one. I mean, they had Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. Everybody wanted him out of here. I didn't want him out of here. Most people wanted him to stay and sign an extension. I didn't know if that was going to happen, but he did. He's doing great at Kansas City, especially with Pacheco. That's the best thing you can do for a young kid, have a veteran in there and kind of be like, hey, kid, let's do it. Me and you, tag team. And they're doing great. So it's almost like everybody has done a 2-headed monster when it comes at running back. And that's where we're reverting back to. And with us not being able to run the ball ever, and I mean ever, it's not a good look.
Yeah, it's we haven't been able to do it all year. It's not like, we'll get one big play here or there, but even those are hard to come by. I have zero confidence in the run game. I have the least amount of confidence in the run game than any other aspect on the team. And like it shouldn't be that way. Our line didn't just completely fall off. I know Nick Chubb's a little banged up, but he just didn't forget how to run the football, and his vision is terrible. And he went from averaging 5 yards a carry every single year to I don't even know if is he averaging 3 yards carry this year?
It's like between 2 and 3. It's not good.
It's terrible. I mean, that's embarrassing. I feel terrible for Nick because, and honestly, why would he ever want to come back to this? If Ken Dorsey's back, why would he ever want to come back to this situation? I mean, go to San Francisco, go to Philadelphia, go to these teams that are committed to running the ball, and you'll get, the backups get 5 yards of carry. So there's plenty of other systems out there that are more running back friendly than this one. This is probably the least running back friendly. And I know he dropped a pass that turned into an interception, but it wasn't a great pass or anything like that. And it's not like he was basically the outlet guy. I did notice after he dropped that, he came in the next series with some gloves on. But you got to know how to use Nick Chubb. You have to know, the offensive linemen that you have and what is their strength. And clearly, we have no idea how to do any of that.
No. All right, Bri, let's have a fun little game. I talked to you about it right before the show. Bri, if you were the owner of the Cleveland Browns, what would you do after this season? Would you fire guys? Would you stay pat? Is there other moves that you would like to do? What would you do if you were the owner of Cleveland Browns? If you were Jimmy Haslam, Bri, what would you do?
Well, I think, whenever you have a terrible season like this, you have to look at what you can change. And most of the time, if it's as big a disappointment as the Browns have been this year, you have to make some serious changes. You can't just change a defensive back coach or maybe get in a couple new assistant coaches. You gotta look at general manager, you have to look at head coach, and you have to look at quarterback, and how can we get better at those positions. And if you don't think you can, then you stay pat. I would. If I'm Jimmy Haslam, I'm having a conversation with Mike Vrabel. I'm trying to figure out if he has any interest in coaching this team, and maybe what he would do different, his vision for this team. And then if he's up for it, like I said a couple weeks ago, and I haven't really changed my mind a whole lot. I think you hire him. I think just because the identity of the team. And I'm not saying Kevin Stefanski is a terrible coach, but as we went over, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago? Like each team represents like the identity and the personality of their head coach.
Well,
and
coach,
the same,
like Dan Campbell at Detroit,
right?
Mike McDaniel down in Miami.
I don't think each coach would have the same type of success wherever they go. Like you mentioned, McDaniel in Miami. I don't think if he came to the AFC North, he's having a similar success. Sean McVay. I don't think Sean McVay would be a great coach in Cleveland. So you need a certain type of coach. Now, Kevin Stefanski could go to the Arizona Cardinals and be great. And I believe that could potentially happen. He could go to, the Chargers or the Niners and be great. But as far as what we need for this climate, for this division, I think you need a tough-nosed guy. I think you need a tough-nosed team to compete with the Pittsburghs and the Baltimores. And so, yeah, I think Vrabel would be that guy. As much as I hate to say, because he's an Ohio State guy, I think maybe Stefanski is a great offensive mind. And I don't know. I think he might be smarter football guy than Mike Vrabel. But what you need from your head coach is you need a guy that players buy into game in and game out. And the biggest blemish, I think, against Stefanski is when we're the underdog, we seem to play great. We seem to get up for those challenges. But when there's expectations when we're the favorites, like I said, when we brought Joe Flacco in last year, there were no expectations at all. The bar was set very low. Like, hey, we got this guy off the street. We're trying something. If we win, great. If not, we're on our fourth quarterback of the year. So whatever, just go out there and have fun. And we went out there and we're racking off wins. And then come playoff time, everybody's picking the Browns to beat the Houston Texans, and we get walloped. And it seems like at the start of this year, we had winnable games where everyone's picking us to win, and we fall short. But then once everybody's off the Browns bandwagon and we play the Ravens and we play the Steelers, we get up for those games because there's no expectations. So I need a coach to get the team up every single game.
All right. So your solution is get rid of Stefanski, try to hire.
I would get rid of Barry too. I think Barry, if you get rid of Stefanski, you almost have to get rid of Barry. I would get rid of everybody in the front office, really, because I don't think Dee Podesta adds anything if we're going in this new direction. I get Vrabel in there. I talk to him. Maybe I even take his advice on a general manager, because clearly Stefanski wants guys that are lined up together with the same views and the same ideas. So if that's what it takes, it's like a roller coaster with Stefanski. We have a good year, then we have a bad year, then we have a good year, then we have a bad year, and it's just like up and like again with the expectations. When we go into a season with expectations, we always fall short. But when there's nobody expecting a whole lot from us, I just need somebody who wants to take me to the promised land and keep us there for 5 or 10 years. And I understand the players have a lot to do with it, especially the quarterback. So yeah, get Vrabel in there, and then you have to draft the quarterback, at least to compete. You can't count on Deshaun Watson to just magically become the quarterback that he was in Houston. So maybe competition will be good for him. Like I said, a lot of Browns fans don't even want to have him anywhere near Browns facilities. But I say let him compete. If he's as terrible as everybody says he is, then he's not going to win. So you just play the best quarterback you have. You bring in a veteran, you have Deshaun Watson, and you bring in a rookie. Hey, guys, best man wins. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care where you were drafted. If you play the best quarterback, we're going to play you on opening day.
I can't argue with what you're wanting to do. I partially agree with 70% of what you're saying because my first thing, and you talk about this cohesion and everything else. Didn't we hire the head coach before we hired the GM?
Yeah, but I don't think that's unique. I don't think that's unique to Cleveland.
Well, it's not. Are you sure about that? Because everybody else that gets fired, the GM goes, he fires the head coach, GM comes in and brings his head coach. Most of the time, 90% of the time, that's what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. You may be right, but I don't think that's. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to maybe do more research on that.
Okay, and here's how I would, if I was Jimmy, I would bring Andrew Berry in first. And I said, all right, obviously this hasn't worked out. The swing you took for Deshaun Watson hasn't worked out. Your draft picks have not worked out. Your first round draft picks have not worked out. You found a couple of diamonds in the rough later on, but we needed a star left tackle. Didn't get it. We need a wide receiver. Still waiting on that, even though Judy got 1,000 yards. We still don't have a game-changing wide receiver. You tried to everything you could to bring him in here, but we still don't have a game-changing wide receiver. You haven't found anybody to go opposite of Myles Garrett. Nobody. Look at Highsmith. Look at Watt. Look at all these other, and then I get to Stefanski. Now, Bri, I know where you're at with Stefanski. Here's what I bring to the table with Stefanski. You're talking about the roller coaster of seasons with Stefanski, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me add to this roller coaster. Okay, this is the reason why I brought up the starting quarterbacks for Kevin Stefanski. The 1 year you go to the playoffs with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield gets hurt. Okay. Tries to play through hurt, get rid of Baker Mayfield, bring in Deshaun. Deshaun's suspended for 11 games, so you're starting Jacoby Brissett. Okay?
Thank you. I
Deshaun
just
comes in.
remembered him.
You're welcome. So you're going
I just
through this
remembered him
roller
as you were talking, though. Go ahead.
But you're going through all these quarterbacks. That's a roller coaster. You haven't had a set quarterback, and when he has had a set quarterback for an amount of time that he can actually do something with, I know Flacco came in here. Flacco's a different kind of veteran. All right. We thought Jameis was going to be the same thing. Jameis shows flashes. I'm not saying Jameis doesn't, but it's Jameis wants to show that we've seen ever since he's been drafted is you're probably going to get 50 touchdowns out of the guy, but you're going to get 63 interceptions. That just happens. That book is out. There's no change in that book. You could try, but that book's been out for I don't know how many years. I don't think Kevin Stefanski has been given a true, real shot with his own quarterback. So this draft, I suggest if I'm the owner, I look at Kevin Stefanski, be like, Barry's gone. We're bringing in a new GM. You're picking your quarterback because we're going to have a high draft pick. Once you pick that quarterback, that is your quarterback. You groom that quarterback however you want, and I will give you 2 years to groom that quarterback. And then after that, we will see where we're at. But right now, I don't think Stefanski has gotten a fair shot at a lot of things. I think they brought in Watson, and he had to go along with it. I think they had to fire Van Pelt and everybody else to go along with the Watson thing and bring in Ken Dorsey. I think he had to go along with a lot of things right now, and he didn't have his say what he wanted to say. Now, that's me personally. That's what I think. There's nobody saying all this other stuff. But also, offensive line coach, see ya. Bubba Ventrone, see ya. Ken Dorsey, see you. The biggest mistakes we have had with this team has been offense, special teams, and offensive line. And you can sit there and say that when Flacco played, Flacco took us to the playoffs, Bri. There was no expectations. But, Bri, there was no offensive line either. We lost our Pro Bowl right tackle. We put in Christensen as a left tackle. We pieced together a backup as a center. So you can't say that we don't have the pieces that we can game plan for people like Joe Flacco or anybody else.
But why did they play well? Why did the backup offensive line play well?
Offensive coach. That's why I said the offensive line coach has got to go.
Oh,
like
yeah. Right.
There's
yeah.
no
You Mr. Fix It.
Yeah. So, and then Justin just said he needs to sell a team. He's not selling the team until after they build this wonderful stadium they're about to build.
Yeah.
But I really do think that I could see a scenario where Stefanski sticks around and then everybody else kind of everybody says it's 2-time coach of the year. I just look at Stefanski different and I try to look at it different. Like Barry hasn't done a lot to impress me. Barry took a lot of swings on a lot of things and gave a second-round pick on Elijah Moore. How well has that turned out, Bri?
Yep.
I mean,
Not
Anthony
great.
Schwartz. Cedric Tillman's hurt right now, but Cedric Tillman's been doing a lot of better.
Yeah, go down the line. Bell.
Jed
David
Wills.
Bell, third-round pick.
Jed Wills. That was your top 10 pick that you had to fix the left tackle, and you missed. Not even a little bit. You missed horribly because the guy doesn't even want to play right now. Like he doesn't even
Wirfs
care about
is right
football.
there.
And Tristan Wirfs was right there. Like you've had other people in those slots that you could have picked that just it just dumbfounds me. I think Barry needs to go. And with Barry, Bri, DePodesta really needs to go. I don't know what he's done in his time here, but whatever it is, he handpicked the coach, Bri. It was his coach. He wanted that coach a long time before. I don't know what he does. You're paying him a lot of money to do what? Stay out in San Diego? Like he doesn't answer questions from anybody unless it's something big that they need him to come in on. But it feels like his fingers are in everything. And they think that Bri, this is going up, that this is just an anomaly year because people on the offensive line wasn't hurt and Nick Chubb and Deshaun didn't have. Brian, we see this every year. Teams struggle with this every year. We did it. We went to the playoffs. Like, I mean, the year with Flacco, we didn't even have Chubb.
Mm-mm.
I mean, what do you think about that? About keeping Stefanski and then getting rid of everybody else on the offense?
I don't totally disagree with you. And honestly, I would be okay with that. Like, if I knew that Stefanski had a hand in us picking our next quarterback, I would be fine with that. I would be okay with that. Whether he is or not, I don't know. But for me, the reason that I say maybe go talk to Vrabel and go get Vrabel is I think this is maybe a once in a 5 or 10 year opportunity to go get a good coach who's from the area, who wants to coach your team, and he's going to be the hottest commodity amongst NFL coach hirings. So if Vrabel wasn't out there, if Vrabel tells you, no, man, it's too big of a mess, I don't want to mess around with this, or I don't want to be perceived as going behind Stefanski's back, I'm not going to take the job. Okay, that's fine. Then yeah, I'm fine with keeping Stefanski if that's the case. But I just think, like, yeah, just looking around the division, I think he matches up with the Harbaugh, with the Tomlin, and he's a guy that can teach that physicality to you, much the way that Dan Campbell did with the Lions. And you need to go back to that, because when were we at our best? 2020, when we had Baker, we had the best offensive line in the league, and we ran the ball, and we had everyone at that time. Everyone thought Nick Chubb was going to the Hall of Fame. He's a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame because we had so much success, and he didn't catch the ball at all. So how did he do it? How did he do his damage? How were people talking about him as the best running back in the league? By running the ball between the tackles, out physicaling the team in front of you. And I think Stefanski maybe still has that in him a little bit, but at this point, you need somebody who's going to get in the ass of these young guys that we draft, and it's not too late. Zach Zinner, Mike Hall, these are different potential difference makers on the line of scrimmage, and we need somebody to get into them, teach them toughness, and it's just a mentality. I listened to Stefanski talk, and I listened to his press conferences, and I just put myself in the shoes of these players. And like I said before, I think Bill Callahan was the ultimate safety blanket for Stefanski. Stefanski didn't have to do that. He had Bill Callahan to get in their ass. He had Bill Callahan to tell them about all his years of experience and look at my resume, and this works if you just do what I say. And if you don't do what I say, I'm going to embarrass you in front of everybody, and I'm going to yell and scream at you. And so we don't have that anymore. Now, there is a chance, maybe I'm wishful thinking that his son gets fired in Tennessee, and Callahan's looking for a job again, and we can bring him back. But I mean, short of that happening, you need a tough guy. You need somebody who's going to make your team tough and is not going to lay off them until they are tougher than the guys that you're watching on film.
Yeah, we talked about Bill Callahan leaving and the impact on this team when that happened, and we even put it in our top 3. We didn't know what the offensive line was going to. I'm not saying that we don't have good offensive linemen. It's just the scheme, whatever they're doing, it's just not right now. And I don't know what it is. Like, you still got Wyatt Teller playing at a Pro Bowl performance right now. Batonio's still holding his own. Left tackle, you're just throwing a guy in there right now. And Conklin's trying to hold his own. But, it's just, God, it's so frustrating being a Browns fan, Brian.
Well, it's the same guys. It's the same offensive. It's the same offensive line that we had a couple. And I refuse to believe they just fell off all of a sudden from last year to this year, or 2 years ago to this year. So it has to be something in how they're being coached or the scheme. So you have to change either how they're being coached, or you have to change the scheme, because both of those, we went from the best rushing team in the NFL to the worst rushing team in the NFL. So, yeah, it's not just the players.
All right. Cincinnati game's coming up, Brian. What's your prediction for the Cincinnati game?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, DTR it's official. I heard a lot of speculation that he was going to start. It's official. He's starting.
It's official.
Yeah, that's a tough spot. Now, I will say,
hey, at least it's not the Friday. It's not the Friday before a Baltimore game.
Right. And that's going against that Baltimore defense last year. That was much better. I will say it's kind of a good spot for DTR. Cincinnati's defense is not very good.
Horrible.
And hopefully we're going down there. So you'll be on the road. Hopefully, I think it's supposed to be kind of cold this weekend, but you shouldn't have too much weather involved. And you don't have Nick Chubb, but the Nick Chubb this year is not a huge loss. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. It's not a huge loss to your offense. So, I mean, he should have success. It's not like he's a rookie anymore. He's been practicing. He'll finally get a chance to take first team reps. He should have a good game. He should put up 20 points at least. Problem is, now the Bengals have the potential to put up 40, but the Browns seem to have their number. Even the first game this year, I think they only put up 21 or something like that against us. So Jim Schwartz, I don't know if it's the personnel, whatever. But we seem to have their number when it comes to our defense against their offense. And so if we're healthy, if Myles Garrett's out there and he's close to 80, 90%, I think we have a chance. It's just going to come down to, DTR doing what he needs to do and what he can do. But you just have to prove it at this point.
Yeah. And, right, I don't know if he can. For what we've seen at DTR, he can run. He even threw an interception this weekend. Joe Burrow has been on a heater, Bri, and not like a little bit heater. He's averaged like 3 touchdowns for like the past 10 games or something. He has been playing outstanding. They're having a little bit of a run game, and Bri, I love what our defense is trying to do, but I don't think our defense can even keep up with that. Brian, here's my pick. I'm gonna go Bengals 34, and I'm gonna go Browns 13. Like I don't see. I think last Kansas City took the wind right out underneath your sails, and I just think this team finally just realized where they're at. And they're going to say they're playing hard, but I don't think they're playing hard anymore, Bri. I think they're going to do their individual thing and get through the rest of the season, hopefully put some good tape out there. But I see this being bad, and I see the next 2 games kind of being similar. I just don't like any of this that's going on right now. And Bri, never thought I'd say we'd see another 3-win team here in Cleveland, but it looks like it might be this year. So I'm going to go 34-14 or something like 13?
13. Yep.
So that's my pick. What about you?
Well, I'm going down with the ship. And I think the Browns win it. I think on the foot of Riley Patterson, I got the Browns 4 Patterson field goals.
Oh, my God.
26-20, Cleveland.
My God, Bri, listen to you. You're getting fatty desperation right now. Like, this is like
I've come this far. We got 3 games left. I'm not going to jump off the ship now. No, I mean, this is the time of year where you find out who wants to be there and who really cares about giving it their all, trying their best. It's not like we have a team full of young guys to where, let's get a bunch of these guys in here and see what they have. Even like a guy like Zach Zinner probably should play. But you got Bitonio and you got Teller. Maybe he'll take over for Teller, but I really think this might be the end of the line for Bitonio, unfortunately.
I know.
So I think he's going to go out playing. But yeah, you don't have a ton of like young guys to even get excited about to be like, I really want to see. Cedric Tillman. I feel like he was on a high before his concussion, and so it would be fun to see him again. But he's been out for like 3 weeks or something like that with this concussion. So I'm starting to worry a little bit about him. So if
Well,
he's
they
not
said
right, don't put him out there.
he practiced all last week, and they were going to put him in, but he did not pass last part of his concussion test.
Right.
So this week he'll probably be good to go. It might be one of those things that you got to. I mean, concussions are different. Look at Denzel Ward; he's had 13 of them, and he's still trying to play at elite caliber. Which dare I say, Denzel Ward, one of the best defensive backs for Cleveland. Save that for next week. So
I not to change the subject. I would be intrigued, and maybe not this week, but at some point before the end of the season, I would be intrigued to see Bailey Zappi. I think he might have a little bit of something like a little Derek. I feel like a little Derek Carr in him. So I know that doesn't get a ton of people excited, but it's better than what we have right now. But I think he went to like Western Kentucky or something like that, and then playing in New England. Like he's played in cold climates.
He threw 400 yards on us and beat us here in Cleveland. So
right, maybe that's why.
Why not?
Now,
why not, Bry?
I've seen. I was a component of DTR last year. I felt like he was improving before he got hurt, and maybe I should be encouraged. He didn't play terrible in the preseason, but I've seen him a little bit this year, and there's nothing for me to get excited about. So maybe he can change my mind this week, but if not, I'd have a discussion about seeing what Zappi has. At this point, you're looking for like a cheap backup quarterback for next year, to where you don't have to bring in a veteran for next year. Like you bring in Deshaun, okay, whatever. You bring in a rookie, okay, whatever. But rather than bringing in a veteran, okay, our veteran's just going to be Zappi or it's going to be DTR. So see what they have.
Yeah, right now, I mean, put Jerome Ford at quarterback. I don't care anymore. Like it is what
you gonna watch?
What, Sunday?
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to watch on Sunday. And the thing is, here's a trick for your wife, which I have to do with my wife. Brian, we talk Browns. We talk Cleveland sports. You have to watch the game so that you can talk how horrible the game was the next week.
Oh, I'll watch it as much as I can. it's not as much as you can. At this point, she kind of knows.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as she knows.
She knows Sundays. Sundays are for the Browns, so.
All right, so Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy. Dual threat. Last dual threat was what? Desmond? Was Charles Woodson the last dual threat?
Desmond wasn't a dual threat. No, Desmond just did special teams. Yeah, Charles Woodson. You've had other guys.
Were you shocked by Travis Hunter getting the Heisman?
No, not really, to be honest, because there's no dominant quarterback. If there was a dominant quarterback, I think the dominant quarterback wins it, or even like the dominant running back if he was a Georgia running back, who was the guy from Genty from Boise State. I think if he played it like and it was close. It was a close. Yeah. I think if he played like in the SEC, if he played for like a powerhouse school, I think he might have won it. But yeah, you didn't have that. You didn't have that dominant running back from a powerhouse school. You didn't have that, crazy great quarterback. Gabriel is fine. He's the only guy that was really maybe in consideration because his team's undefeated and he's, the only undefeated team in the country. But yeah, I mean, Travis Hunter's just a unicorn at this point. You don't really see this much anymore, so I'm not too surprised by it.
We'll talk more on him next week, Brian. I got a couple questions about him next week that I think you're going to be intrigued by. All right, Brian, let's
do you want him for a Browns player?
No, not.
Well, he'll be in the conversation.
Well, I know he'll be in the conversation, but it's a different conversation I'm going to bring up to you. It's not about if he'll be a Brown. It's more of can he still do the dual threat? Can he still play corner and wide receiver? Can he still try to do this kind of stuff in the NFL? That kind of thing. We'll talk about that more next week, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Bri, here we go. All right. College football playoff. All right. we're going to do our pick 'em, and we're doing a quick pick 'em because we have to talk about cookies. All right. So quick pick 'em right out of the gate. You got Indiana and Notre Dame. Bri, quick pick 'em. Are you picking Indiana or Notre Dame?
Notre Dame. Indiana's okay.
I agree with you. I agree with you on Notre Dame, but I believe if it's a close game, Bri, I think Indiana can scare them.
So who's your pick?
I picked Notre Dame, but I'm just saying, Indiana, if they make it a close game, I think it would be all right, Bri. Next up, SMU and Penn State.
This one is really intriguing. I think SMU can absolutely hang with them. I can't pick against the Medina guy, though. I'll pick Penn State.
I am going to pick SMU on this one, Bri.
Yeah,
I picked Penn State to get a little. I picked SMU because they're playing at a different level right now. And the thing that scares me about Penn State is when it comes to a big game like this, Penn State gets kind of a little taken back here, buddy. Played against Ohio State, they laid down. Oregon, they laid down. See if Penn State's up to the challenge. All right, next up on the docket, Bri. Texas, Clemson.
Yeah, this is maybe the biggest blowout I would think of the week is
Texas.
Texas. I think they just
Texas
Clemson's not bad. They have the talent there, but they're just I don't know. They haven't really come together. Although I think if Clemson does win, it would be more of Texas blowing it than Clemson taking it from them.
All right, comes down to the last one, Bri. Saturday night, 9:00 at the Shoe, Ohio State, Tennessee. I see you wearing the Volunteers. Are you actually going to pick the Volunteers, Bri?
No. I had to troll you though. No, I think Ohio State. Obviously, they have the home field advantage. And like I said last week, I think Tennessee has got to prove it. They haven't won a big game in a while. I know they beat Alabama this year, but they have the horses. They got a good defense. They got a good young quarterback. I think maybe he just needs a little seasoning, and I think Ohio State is pretty sick of hearing about the loss to Michigan, so they'll come out guns a-blazing.
Justin said Tennessee by 3.
Interesting.
He's wanting Ryan Day fired so that we get Vrabel.
Oh,
That's what he's wanting. That's what he's
not going to college. He's already said he's not going to college.
I know he's not.
Tell Justin then.
I'm trying to. It's hard to tell Justin that stuff. All right, Brian, it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday. You ready?
Yep.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
All right, Fat Boy Tuesday, and we are talking. But you're doing cookies this weekend. I'm going down to my sister's. We are doing the sugar cookies and icing and all that stuff. I'm getting some no-bake cookies made for me, Bri, which I cannot wait for. One of my favorite cookies is a no-bake. Justin said he likes Day, and he said they haven't won a big game in a while. That is true. All right, so Brian, what are some of your favorite cookies? For I know we talked about rum balls and everything else. What are some of your favorite cookies that you get on Christmas?
Well, I mean, it starts and ends with the sugar cookies, the decorating of the sugar cookies. But honestly, something my mom used to do all the time, and we wouldn't have many left come Christmas, but she would do the Buckeyes. And
oh god,
this was before they were everybody did the Buckeyes. This was like me, late 80s, early 90s, and so she would make a whole tray of the peanut butter balls, and she would stick them in the freezer. And so we just have peanut butter balls in the freezer all the time, and I would go in and grab 2 or 3 and have them as a snack. And then after a week of that, she'd come back and she'd dunk them all in the chocolate. So Buckeyes have always been one of my favorites. And you got to have them I think you got to have them cold. You got to have them a little frozen almost, to where when you bite into the chocolate, it breaks. It's not I've had this, you grab a Buckeye and it just melts in your hand a little bit, and I'm not about that.
Half fall Buckeyes. I know where you're going with that one.
Yeah, and then everyone does the peanut butter blossoms anymore. Those are fantastic. I love the idea of putting a little Reese cup in the middle instead of a Hershey Kiss, because I feel like whenever you bite into it, you always get
Great chocolate.
they're usually hard, so it's
Mhm.
hard to get like half of the Hershey Kiss. You either get all the way to the Hershey Kiss and you just kind of graze it a little bit, and then you have to eat the whole thing in one bite. So it's hard to like bite it in half to where you can enjoy a little bit this bite, a little bit next bite. So that's why I think the Reese cup is maybe a little better there. And then one I think my wife did last year, 2 years ago, was it was almost like a pecan cheesecake cookie kind of thing, but not like too heavy on the cheesecake, like just a
Okay.
little bit. Like it was basically a sugar cookie with like, kind of like a volcano, like cut out in the middle a little bit, a little divot out of there, and then like some cheesecake and some pecans. So that was really good. So yeah, but I'm sure I'm forgetting about some. You got to tell
Oh
me.
yeah. Like
Yeah, the
we
rum balls. What are the other ones?
the powdered sugar, like dough
Yeah.
balls. You know which ones
Yep.
I'm talking about. You got those.
Snowballs.
The ones that you say with the bok choy, the clusters, the chocolate covered cluster.
With
Got
the
like
choy.
peanut. Yeah.
No, I got no. The ones I have are butterscotch. What do they
Okay.
call them? Bird's nest or
Bird's nest, whatever.
tumbleweeds or something. Whatever. Yeah, good.
Also, dude, no bake cookies are my favorite go-to. I can't help it. I love no bakes. I get them that time. Sugar cookies are great. I'm not saying they're not. My God, I am forgetting about like 12 cookies right now. I mean, good old-fashioned chocolate chip. Cannot go wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're the dad now, which you're the dad now, buddy. If you're 13 and under, earmuffs, you get to eat those chocolate chip cookies before you.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. You get to do it. It's fun. Like we sit out Oreos. Can't wait. The one year they tried to sit out carrots and stuff for the reindeer. Mm-mm.
Give him the princess.
Princess does not eat carrots. She'll eat the shit out of some cookies. So I've seen her do it. I mean,
my cousins used to leave out a beer for my uncle, so my uncle would get to drink a beer while he ate his cookies. So I thought that was, I think that's a tradition that's going to continue in my family here.
That's awesome. Well, let's scroll over to the top three. If you have cookies, Christmas cookies that Brian and I need to check out or eat, hit us up on the social medias. Hit us up in the comments. We will try it. Justin said molasses and gingerbread. He said Buckeyes he can't have anymore. Yeah, I can't forget about gingerbread cookies, Brian.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's roll over into our top three, Brian. We're going to do our holiday traditions. As soon as I find, there it is. Brad, give me some of your favorite holiday traditions. Top three.
Yep, I got you. Number 3 is going out and going to a Christmas tree farm and cutting down a Christmas tree, a live Christmas tree.
Okay,
and
so you guys do live Christmas trees.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's kind of been a tradition, I guess, in my family. And I tell you, I used to hate it as a kid because we go out, it'd be cold, and my dad would take like 2 hours to find a Christmas tree. I'd be like, "You gotta come on, Dad. I'll go home. I'm hungry. I'm
See
cold."
one right there.
And now I do the same thing. My wife, like literally every 30 seconds, what about that one? Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, there's a nice one. Oh, how about that one? No, it's not this. It's not that. No, I'm the same way. It takes me just as long, and I end up settling for one. And I'm like, I guess this one's the best one we're gonna find. And so, yeah, my wife hates me. My daughter's gonna hate me. But that's just what we've done. I guess is in my blood. So that's my number 3. Number 2. Hopefully going to get to do this on Friday, as we were talking with my mom earlier today, is just driving around and checking out the Christmas lights displays. And it's something easy, we might grab a bite to eat while we're out. But but just sitting in the car. Some of them are just unbelievable. Just taking a night and going out and going to maybe, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 different locations. It was great. The Medina County Arts Council, which my mom was a part of, they had like a list and a map of like 20 different like great places to go to for these Christmas lights displays. And so, yeah, if I can find something like that, I'm all aboard. Might take 2-3 hours to do it, but I'm excited for that on Friday. And then number one, we don't really have, my family, don't have these strong Christmas traditions that carry over from the time when I was like 2 till now I'm 40. But one that we've done over the last 7-8 years, which has just kind of become like a de facto Christmas, because we don't get together with my mom's family anymore because it's just kind of too hectic for everybody with spouses and in-laws and stuff like that. So we carve out a weekend in January and we go down to Hoffman Hills and pile into a cabin for the weekend. So that's like our de facto Christmas. We just hang out for 2-3
awesome.
days, drinking, eating. Last year was awesome because we had the Browns playoff game. So we had this giant setup with like huge projector. So it was so much fun, but it's just really chill. You hang out, you take like 5 naps a day, you drink more than you should, and you eat more than you should. I mean, what's better than that?
It's the way it always is, bud.
Yep.
For me, my number 3 happened this weekend. Since we moved into this house, Brian, this is 12 years in this house coming up. Boys are 11. This is all they know for Christmas. And every year we bring out the tree. Now, we do not get a live tree. We have one upstairs that we've got that we bring down and put up. But during the weekend, and it's normally around this time because I'm not a monster and put up my Christmas tree back in like November 1st or October 31st. I do it, first week of December, second week of December, something like that. So we did it this weekend now that everybody got like a little bit healthy. And we play Christmas carols, not even Christmas carols, just Christmas music, and then decorate the whole house. And it was very eye-opening to me this weekend how big my kids are getting now, because Brian, I remember for the longest time them asking me to help put decorations on certain branches, and now they can reach all the branches. But it's just a fun thing that we do. Always Christmas Eve, the night before Christmas, we watched 2 movies. We watched The Grinch, and then we watched the Christmas, well, not the Christmas Story, but like the Scrooge kind of thing of that one. And we watched that with the kids. And then right now, my number 1 with my family, which I love, is my wife does it too. She'll go out the night before and get donuts. And when the kids are opening up gifts, after we're done opening up gifts, everybody just kind of has donuts. And we have coffee and just kind of enjoy the morning together. No breakfast made, no mess, just enjoy the morning together. And then we watch Christmas movies throughout the day, whether it be Home Alone or whatever it is. But those are some things. Now, childhood, we had always going to my Uncle Wig's house and just having fun with the extended family and doing stuff like that. Like this weekend, my sister always does something with my aunt. They do the Christmas cookies. That's why I'm going down, because the Bateses are coming down to help out with Christmas cookies this weekend. So just things like that. But I just wanted to see, and especially, you got to be super excited because baby girl's first Christmas, buddy. You got to go all out. I mean, is she getting a BMW? What's she getting?
Quite the opposite. No, she's
Diapers?
6 months. She'll be 7 months old. Yeah, she's not gonna. We'll get some good pictures of her opening up some gifts, but we're not gonna go crazy with it. So, but yeah, just taking it easy. Not really doing anything. I have my mom over, my mother-in-law over, and we'll all kind of have a good time, just hanging out, eating. Maybe I'll start a fire up. For sure, what we're gonna do, I forgot to mention. Watching the Christmas Story is something that I'll do 4 times.
For 3 days now.
Nothing. Right. That'll be all I watch for like 5-6 hours straight, and I'll fall asleep a couple times.
I don't think I've ever watched the Christmas Story all the way through.
Right. It's hard to do.
I get like 30 minutes in, out, wake up 45 minutes later. Okay. And then start out, I'm like 40 minutes out again. Wake up. It's almost like Thanksgiving when they do like the reruns on Thanksgiving. You keep watching the same, TV show over and over and over again. It's like, okay, what? I thought I already watched this. Yeah, it's hard to do, especially on Christmas.
It's so crazy because the only time I've ever seen that movie is on Christmas Day.
Mhm.
So whenever my eyes watch that movie, it means it's Christmas, and I'm just filled with joy. So yeah, it's pretty special.
Well, next week we'll do our favorite Christmas movies, Bri. As it will be the couple days before Christmas. We'll just do a Christmas themed show, Bri. We will talk about everything Christmas, presents we had growing up, things of that nature. We'll have some fun with it. We'll have Justin come in, read hookers and blow to everybody, which would be even better. Can't wait for that. Bri, we do have to close it out with trivia. I did ask you, Kevin Stefanski's been here 5 years. He's had 10 starting quarterbacks. Can you name them all?
I got 10 on here, and I'm confident in 9 of them.
Okay.
But we'll see. So I got Baker. I got Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
I got DTR.
Yep.
I got Flacco.
Uh-huh.
I got Winston.
Uh-huh.
I got PJ Walker.
Yep.
I got Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
I got Case Keenum.
Yep.
I got Nick Mullins.
Yeah.
So that's 9. The only other name I could come up with was Tyrod Taylor, but I think he's Hugh Jackson.
He was Hugh Jackson. Jeff
Damn.
Driscoll started one.
Oh,
game.
last game last year.
Yeah.
Of course. Cheap. That is cheap. That was a
Sorry,
throwaway
bud.
game. I didn't even watch it. Good one, though.
Right.
No. Well done.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the Legal Ham of the Face tonight. We've had a blast. Everybody go like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, whatever you want to give us on all of our socials at Ham Illegal. We want to thank our troops and first responders for everything you do. Also, City Dogs Cleveland, $21 adoptions. You get to adopt a beautiful dog like, I got to scroll up, like Gazelle here. Look at that beautiful face. Or this face right there. How can you say no to that face? Or that face right there. Or that face right there. Or that face right there. There's so many faces at City Dogs Cleveland that you cannot say no to. Please do it. Bri, we're here at the end of the show, brother. God bless them.
Yep. God bless you. God bless America.
All right. I am that fat guy. We're definitely uncorked, unloaded. We're out. We'll see you next Monday at 7 p.m. See ya.